Bring children from all places with all kinds of faces together into a sailing ship. There were 40 boys and girls. They would sail their ship around the globe, so they called it the United World. The ship was just 3 weeks from shore when a hurricane bore it down. The waves were big as mountains. They felt they would surely drown. They jumped into the lifeboats, rowed away from the wreck. They didn't count them, they hadn't time. 5 children were left behind. The children fought the storm all night and finally fell asleep. They didn't realize the ship had been blown across a reef into the lost island. But hiding in the bushes was a watchful pair of eyes, and living in the valley were people lost in time, ruled over by a tyrant whose face was in a mask. The children must defeat him so they can escape at last from the lost islands. The lost islands.
Oh, boy. I wonder if I could get it going again. Wiring kit ignition. Brake lines. Fuel pump. Wow! Generator leads. Coil leads. Yeehaw! I grew up reading about all this stuff. I'm a World War II expert.
What aren't you an expert on?
Well, be quiet, Mark. Go on, David.
Well, the engine's not in bad shape. It needs a new distributor, but I found that.
After 30 years?
Yeah, all U.S. Army spare parts were wrapped in tropical wrapping to keep you preserved for centuries. See? Good as new. And over 30 years old.
Yeah, gotta hand it to the kid.
I'll get the carburetor off the United World engine.
How about fuel?
Well, that's a good question. I think if we look nearby, we might be able to find a fuel dump in the jungle. There has to be one. They left in a hurry, it looks like. They might have been part of a convoy. Had to make an emergency landing here for water. Anyway, if there is any fuel, It should be sealed in some tropical wrapping like the spare parts.
We will look.
Yeah.
Sure.
If not, well, I'll think of something.
Jason!
Hi.
Hi to thee, Tony.
Coming up, you're just in time.
What do you suppose he means by that?
Okay, suppose we can get it going again. What are we going to do with an army duck?
Look, David's eccentric. The world's most eccentric 16-year-old. There's no fuel dump. So the little Noah was right.
I never dreamed to see such a machine. You say it can travel on both land and water, David.
Aye. I mean, yeah.
But can you make it work?
I reckon if Tony and Mark can find that fuel dump, it must be out there somewhere. Oil's not going to be a problem. The stuff bubbles up in pools in that cave underneath the volcano.
A machine from the modern world.
Hey! You were right! We found it! Cans and cans of...
Great! There's nothing to stop us now. Can I have a spoon? Singing.
Of course, David.
No wonder the Chinese are so slim. They can't get the food to their mouths.
It's delicious, Suying.
Here.
Oh, thanks. But don't get me wrong. It's great food.
So what happens tomorrow?
Well, I have to drain the fuel that's already in the tank. And we'll need to go to the caves to get some of that oil. You remember, the stuff's bubbling up all over the place.
I'll go, David. I know the volcano better than thee.
Right. I've already fitted our own carburetor. And I've installed one of the ship's 6-volt batteries. There should be enough charge left in it to turn the motor over.
What about the tires?
Well, the duck's got its own compressor. Runs off the engine, so it pumps up its own tires.
Terrific. So now that we've got it going, what are we going to do with it? Presume it can't get us back to civilization.
Well, that'd be asking a bit much.
So?
Wait till tomorrow. I've got a kind of freaky idea.
Petrol's right, Dave.
Roger!
There may be an oil shortage everywhere else.
But not on Tambu.
Just think if the news of this got out to the outside world, how people would fight over this one small island.
I reckon.
Information like that would be worth a fortune.
To who?
Well, to whoever were to tell them about it.
Maybe. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Change the leads around.
Right.